Welcome to episode 17. Yes, 17 weeks of this, of the global exclusive
Of
podcast.
this hell, you mean?
Can't believe we're here. Every week is a new miracle that we're still doing this podcast. But we're joined this week by Karten.
Bharos better not do something lewd this day today, okay? The mute button is just one click away.
Dream Blitz.
What franchise are we ruining this week?
Muspel.
We're down to 5 hosts now.
Shadow Walker.
See, COVID-19 didn't just take away our normal lives. It took away Bharos' sanity.
Yeah. Bharos is also here. All right, let's move on. This week we've got another set of Esper units in Odin Raegen and Tetra Physalis. And we also got a free unit in Untamed Edel, which is going to be the name of my next child.
So now you care about their real names.
Also, shouldn't it be like Physalis as the fruit?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's Physalis.
I've
I
heard
thought it was Physalis.
I've heard both. I used to say Physalis, but I've looked it up several times and it's Physalis.
No, it's Phasalith.
Well, this is the global exclusive.
It's Fistalot.
This is the JP exclusive podcast. We've established that earlier, alright?
All right, let me give the real names. It's War Hero Raegen and Four Winds Physalis. Sorry. We'll also be talking about some enhancements we got for Akstar, Xeno, and Regina, and then we've also got latents for Reberta. We'll talk about the item world weirdness.
Whoa, calm the fuck down. We also got enhancements for Yuraisha. Okay?
Oh yeah, that's right. I always forget that, Granny.
Just like the story.
Oh,
yeah, and everyone else.
And this week, we don't have a sponsor, but we do have a very interesting bet that the 6 of us made, and Muspel's going to explain it.
So, I came up with this idea because I wasn't thinking things through. And what's going to happen is that with the upcoming Dark Visions, we're going to have a competition between the 6 podcast hosts. And whoever gets first place is going to get to pick the topic for a future podcast discussion. And whoever gets last place is going to have their voice shifted up like an octave or something so they sound like a chipmunk.
For the whole episode or just for like bits?
The whole
That's up to Bharos.
episode.
Now, the problem is that Bharos might win. Because he won last time. And if he wins, he'll probably make us talk about something horrifying based on what happened last episode. So
Whoa, that's unfair.
I pulled for Odin Raegen
Is it
because
unfair?
I need to beat Bharos. Because I got second place last time, so I'm the closest to him. I think I can overtake him.
You're our only hope.
I don't know.
Help
Do
us,
we
Muspel.
really want Muspel winning?
No, I feel like Muspel is just using that as an excuse to justify his worldly urges,
Pulls?
okay? Yes.
Yeah, his meta behavior. Like dude has never not pulled on a meta unit.
That's true.
He's the literal wiki ratings. I mean, of course he's going to save.
Yeah, he's pulling like we hope everyone that's reading the wiki ratings are pulling. They're just pulling for the highest
I
rated
can
units.
multitask.
Also, we hope no one's reading the wiki ratings because it's always trash fest.
Yeah, I agree. Like people there suck so bad. We're gonna get into that when we get to Yuraisha.
Oh, here we go.
Oh boy. Starting strong.
Yeah, we're gonna get into a lot of things when we get into Yuraisha.
Stop.
So if you guys want neither Bharos or Muspel to win this competition, please donate to the Hazard Fund of winning this.
You mean the common
DM
fund,
me your
okay.
credit card number. Yeah, I will
No,
also
I
accept
was third
donations on
place,
behalf
okay?
of Cotton and Dream and even Shadow, as long as he doesn't use Lastwell.
You can send donations to him at hazard@muspel.net.
You're such a hipster. You've always got some weird way of pronouncing everything, Shadow.
The worst form is definitely Edel because she turns into a.
You guys could play, the listeners could play a drinking game, which is drink anytime Muspel says the word so to start a
Drink
sentence.
anytime someone gets interrupted.
Kaminami ho, motherfucker.
All right, should we move on to the actual units here? Well, we can talk about War Hero Raegen, I believe.
Yeah, seems fine.
So he's got some big daddy numbers, if you will.
Who's gonna talk about him?
Isn't that
Who
you?
wants to talk about him? Like Muspel pulled for him, so
Yeah, maybe Muspel should.
I mean, this guy's the strongest chainer we've got currently. Why is like
we're saying that
we're all
every
just
week.
like-
That's
Yeah, but like this one's actually like more than a tiny percent above the existing one. He's like 25% ahead of everyone who's not his banner partner.
And this
Yeah,
is
he's a
why
pretty-
Muspel
he's a pretty
chased for
significant
meta.
damage jump.
Okay. And this is why he chased for
Muspel can't
meta.
take a unit that's like 20% higher without chasing it.
Yeah, he's got very high damage. He also has a little bit of utility, although not anything meaningful. Really, it's just for Dark Visions, he can hit pretty hard on turn 1, and he's got innate killers. He's got great weapon selection, so he can use pretty much all of the Scorn weapons with killers, aside from Rising Sun. And he buffs his own attack by 200% on turn 1, just preemptively. So
I'm curious if Gumi released a new meta damage dealer, like did 25%, 30% more every single week, how fast do you think Muspel would run out of money?
Yeah, super fast, 100%. Like poor guy wouldn't know what hit him. He would just be pulling every week. It's like I don't know what's happening.
I do want to see that happen to Muspel, okay? Gummy, Smile, whoever you are, do it, okay? Do it.
Yeah, like, and they should alternate. Like every other week, it should be like a pure physical damage dealer, and the next week it should be like a physical damage dealer with spirit-based damage, and like just like do that alternate.
No, they gotta throw in.
Goodbye.
They gotta throw in like a random tank. Muspel's a big sucker for tanks.
Oh yeah. A random tank. Yes, that can also break. Yes.
Bonus points if there's the word Katie in there somewhere.
Yeah. But okay. So Odin Raegen, this is a thing that bothers me a lot with this unit. So I didn't pull for him. But one thing that bothers me a lot is that he has a really cool sprite. Has a pretty cool like merge animation. This is actually something I realized this week. Okay, so now you're gonna see just how stupid and unattentive I am. I just realized this week that one of the things about the Esper unit is that they actually merge. Okay?
Give Bharos a clap.
We've been
okay?
talking about this.
Give Bharos a
in like
clap.
3 previous episodes.
Yeah, I'm not listening to you guys, obviously.
I've been putting them on the thumbnails
Yeah, I mean, I know.
He doesn't
but
watch her-
that
haven't
I
been-
send to you and you upload.
But like,
Every
it just didn't
Bharos,
stick.
every time I've talked about how much I do not like the design of these units, I have said I would much rather have had them had the fusion sprite as the full-time sprite. Like we've literally talked about this a dozen times.
Huh. So that's what you meant.
Are you a goldfish?
Okay, so that's what you meant. Okay. No, because I had literally, like, it just hasn't stuck in my brain yet. It was just like, but the thing is, now that I realize it, okay, first of all, I fully agree, Hazard. Like, they should have had their fusion sprite from start because those are actually pretty cool. Odin Raegen's fusion sprite is, she actually, like, I don't know, like, Odin gets to fuck off
Yeah.
and he gets to sit on Odin's horse
Yes.
instead. Which is pretty funny. But, what's a shame about it is that he has a really shitty LB animation though, because like he gets on the horse and then he flails with his arms like he's eating his favorite food, and that was a bit off-putting.
You know who the original Esper unit was?
No,
CG Lightning.
Oh,
Because she's on
cute.
Odin. Because that is Odin.
that's-
Yeah.
Odin
No,
Lightning.
she's on. Yeah, that is Odin. Yeah, that's.
What if White Noel was the first Esper unit and his like machine is actually an Esper?
What if it's Shiva in armor?
Well, actually, it's a trio unit of
Oh,
Noel,
gosh.
Shiva, and Alexander.
Oh wow.
Don't give them any ideas, Stream.
Don't give Bharos any ideas, you mean?
I mean, it's already in the game.
It's going to be like a Voltron unit.
Don't give Bharos any more ideas.
No. Like, listen, it's going to be like a Voltron unit. It's going to be like 8 Espers, and so like 8 big strong Espers, and
Here we
yeah,
go.
okay, I'm not going to go into that one.
No.
All right,
No,
so
it's just all the Veritas armors fused together.
So with Reagan, are there any downsides? Are there any things to be concerned about? There's a lot of damage, but what else?
To maximize his damage, you have to. It's like a mixed element burst.
Yeah.
He uses both his fire and ice cooldown, but like even just using one of them and being single element only, his damage is still massive and significantly above everyone else.
You know
He
what's
just-
the other
it-
downside? Actually
It's
having
like
to chase
5%
for a new
loss.
unit. That is the downside.
Yeah. I just hate this that every week we're getting a chain. Maybe this is actually the exception now. Maybe Odin Raegan is going to last for a while. So whoever pulled for him might feel the joy of having a top tier damage
Sure.
dealer for more than 1 week, because everyone else gets
Did you
fucked
pull
over.
for him, Bharos?
No, not at all. I mean, I actually don't pull for meta. That you know this. You all know this. I don't pull for meta. I just pull for
limited
emotions,
matters.
and I have like zero. Yeah, and I have zero attachments to fucking Raegen or
The thing
worse.
the thing about power creep that you just mentioned is that we've the next unit below is a pretty significant gap, but we've had that like threshold for quite a while now. Like Edward and Madam broke that gap, and then we've had that for like 2 or 3 months, and then now Raegen is pushing it again. So I don't feel like we're on a breakneck speed. We're just in the next step of the power creep. It was inevitable.
You're such a hipster. You've always got some weird way of pronouncing everything, Shadow.
It's not.
It's Raegen. You just said Raegen.
What the
War
fuck?
Hero Raegen.
No.
Wargen?
Raegen.
Right.
Yeah, it's like the American president, right?
To be fair, Ronald Reagan's last name was spelled differently.
Yeah,
But
Yeah,
but
it
yes,
was,
it is
but I
Reagan.
would. Yeah.
it's not Reagan. It is
Yeah.
Raegen. That's how I will do it. Just like Regina.
And
I mean, it
Oh
makes sense now
god,
that
no.
you're saying
throwback.
it. Like,
Shit, Regina is on
Raegen.
the banner.
But okay,
Yeah, Regina
Hands
is
it.
on this.
Damn it.
so if
So-
we go back.
Oh god,
Wait. Okay. Calm down with your lewdness, Cotton.
yeah,
We need
if
to go
Bharos is
back.
telling you to calm down, then you've got a problem.
Oh yeah, just wait until we get a bit further into the episode. Anyway.
Oh, really? Would you
Yeah.
like this to be your last episode?
Okay, but
So
one thing
help
about
me.
Raegen that we haven't mentioned, I think at least, is that he also has a considerable T1 burst, which is really strong, of course, for Dark Visions.
Yeah, his turn 1 modifier is somewhere in like 150x, which is
Yeah,
for
it's like
context, Karten has 99x.
162.
So wait, so which skills are you using to get that turn 1 burst?
You just triple cast his AT skill.
Oof,
Which is Octostrike Blade.
jeez.
And the thing is, the only downside, or I'm going to call it, well, he has the same downside that Karten has, which is that it's still very hard to chain him with a non-dupe and retain that big modifier.
No.
Because the non-dupe unit is not going to have a high, like, you could use Zon, but Zon is probably doing something else on turn
It's
1.
just triple cast AT. That's like kind of common. You could combine that with like Auron, who has like 120.
No. My point is, like, yeah, okay, Auron, that's true. Auron.
Or even Laswell, actually. Laswell is a really good turn 1 triple cast burst.
Has King Shiva.
Which
they
one,
both
Shiva?
have-
No, Aloha Laswell, actually.
Oh yeah,
Although
that's true.
Last
That's
damage is
true.
pretty
Okay,
low.
so it's actually a lot better than for Karten.
Triple cast AT on turn 1 is like surprisingly reasonably common.
Like Akstar, most of the Akstars have triple cast turn 1. Most of the last wells do.
Yeah, but they don't. But all of them are stacking. Like it's kind of like Karten, where you need to find a one single cast AR chainer that would also do good damage. So in many cases, Karten is actually not that good for DV because his 99x can easily be beaten with just 2 units chaining.
I think you're focusing too much on these units as chainers and forgetting that you can just use them as finishers. You just cram them into another chain. The fact that they
No,
chain
absolutely,
is
absolutely.
not important a lot of the time. You just care about how much damage they deal. In DV.
No, but for Karten, or it's different for Raegen because he actually has 160x, which is a finisher grade burst. But for Karten, who did 99, there were like a ton of units that did more than him, and he did AR, so you could only like weave him into AR.
Karten was actually near the peak of turn 1 damage because although his modifier is only 99x, he had the 6x chain cap, which a lot of the other units with higher modifiers didn't, and he had the Berserk attack buff on Frenzy Rampage, so he punched a little bit above his weight class in that
No,
respect.
and
I don't think he
Karten's
was the absolute strongest in terms of turn 1 burst, but he was way up there.
and Karten's damage is really Karten
No, I mean,
damage is
he
actually
is
really
strong.
really backloaded. So by the time the big hit comes in, it's already at the 6 times change cap.
Yeah, but I mean, the problem is that you're diluting the total, because okay, he's obviously chaining with someone else, because I mean, like either you're using a support chainer or you're using 2 chainers that he gets to finish into. And if you're using a support chainer, then you're diluting the average modifier, because if he does 99, let's say that blows up to 120 because he has the Berserk buff, that's still going to be 60 on average per chainer. And 60 on average per chainer is still relatively easy to do with other chainers, and you might even get a longer chain.
I think talking about diluting the average isn't necessarily that important, because you don't always have the killers to spread around. Even if you were using 4 units, 1 or 2 of them are going to be doing the overwhelming majority of your damage, because the others just won't have killers. You won't have the Espers. In some cases, you might not have Materia because they're one of a kind, or they're STMRs you don't have more copies of. So the fact that you have 2 units that aren't contributing a lot of damage themselves it doesn't really matter what their modifiers are, because they wouldn't be doing much damage anyways.
Yeah, but I kind of have the feeling that I wouldn't put my killers on Karten anyway. Like, it would probably be Big Hard or, like, now Cloud, etc. that would have all the killers combined. Like, the 2 finishers in your comp would have the killers.
Well, now, sure, but that's because Karten got power cut by Cloud.
I'm impressed that this one sentence has devolved into whatever this is for the last like 10 minutes.
Have you not been on the last 16 or 17 weeks of the podcast? This happens every
I didn't realize
single
Karten was on this
time.
banner.
Anyways, Raegen good. All right, let's move on.
Raegen good.
Raegen good, Muspel pulled. There's nothing else to hear. Let's go to the
Yeah,
next
if
one.
Muspel pulled, it's a good unit.
Because he's the biggest meta snake.
Yeah, and he also really
I
wants to
mean-
win this next DV. And I'm starting to
He really
feel like I
does.
won't have the time I had last time to actually try to optimize this DV.
I'm also, maybe I'm the only one, but I'm really worried about the topic that Muspel would pick.
You are?
Oh, me too.
Nah.
Yeah.
I'm more like, if Bharos won, he'd choose something stupid like feet or something. Like
Shit.
Muspel won.
How does
Yeah,
he
but
know?
Muspel-
don't
That's
know.
your
What do you
topic,
think?
Shadow.
Well, you guys
Isn't that your
see,
topic?
card.
you guys see the topics that we get to choose from every week. It's like it's a barrel of not great. And if Muspel gets to actually choose it just out of his own brain, I'm a little nervous.
I mean, I keep asking you guys for topic suggestions, and you haven't given me any.
A likely story.
Look, let's be honest, we don't actually need new topics because we go off topic enough to fill out the hour with just the units.
Exactly. We're talking about Raegen
Yeah.
for fucking 15 minutes.
Yeah,
Okay,
I mean,
but-
based
but-
on
but
the
for
current pace
real.
of the episode, it's going to be about 3 hours.
For real, to our listeners, topic suggestions are welcome. I can't guarantee we'll do them, but post them in the Reddit
Yeah,
threads or
absolutely.
whatever.
Please.
and we'll at least look at them.
We need ideas.
Also, I just realized how terrible it would be if Muspel chose topic. So I'm gonna start a GoFundMe, so you guys can fund me, so I can like pull on Raegen as well. Okay, so just let me know.
Look, if this gets really bad, I'll only present the damn redacted unit, okay? Just to make sure Muspel doesn't win.
Yeah.
Just
Oh
the
god.
things I'll do.
I'm just gonna have us talk about
Yes.
tanks or something.
Cotton needs to be our champion.
Wait, why does Karten need to be our champion?
She's the biggest whale.
Because then neither you nor Muspel win.
I'm just gonna do we're just gonna have like a deep dive discussion of which tanks are best. Like when do you use Galoof over AWOL and vice versa.
Spoilers.
I use Alfonso.
Yeah, that's gonna be such a terrible ass discussion. I'm just gonna put it out there.
Can we move on to Physalis?
Physalis.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there is actually another unit on this
Yeah.
banner.
And she's kind of
So-
cool.
Physalis is a mage with a very standard mage gearing kit. Like all mages, she uses spears and guns and throwing weapons, just normal mage stuff.
Don't forget daggers.
Oh yeah, daggers. Well, to be fair, that actually is a semi-normal mage weapon.
That is actually like the most normal mage weapon on that list.
Hey, to be fair, Alim had to make what? Ace's STMR useful, alright?
That's true.
Actually,
that's
Queen's
true.
STMR also kind of comes into play here for her.
Yeah, no joke. I was considering pulling on the unit.
You know what STMR is best for her? AI
Upgrade
KDs.
package.
Yeah,
Oh
because
god,
then she can
yes.
equip rods and whips.
Wait, so what does she turn into?
A bird?
I know she just gets wings.
Oh, so she does the soul thing. Okay.
Oh, dude, if it's talking about the combined forms, Laswell's is the worst. Like, Shiva just disappears into dust.
He gets a pretty.
Yeah.
He gets a tiara.
He's a pretty princess.
Let's agree to disagree. The worst form is definitely Edel because she turns into a furry.
Alright, disagree.
She gets a tail and ears. Jesus Christ. Okay, fuck that shit. Whoever I actually liked the character, and you ruined it for me, you asshole. Whoever designed it.
But to be fair,
So
Adele's
Physalis.
animation was a bit lazy, okay? Her limit
Alright,
burst
we can-
animation is
we'll-
exactly
guys,
the
we'll get
same
to
as a
Adele.
normal one,
We'll
just
get
with
to
added
Adele.
ears and tails.
Choo choo train.
Train crash.
So Physalis is the strongest mage in GL at this point, and she has, on paper, the highest burst of any unit. As always with mages, in practice she would lose to the physical damage dealers, but I think the only physical damage dealer that would actually beat her would be Raegen, because she bursts for 92 billion, Raegen bursts for 83. The killer gap isn't wide enough for other units to catch up to her in burst, I think.
I mean, that said, also, like, she scales a lot more with whale gearing than Raegen does, because she still has room for another 50% true dual wield.
Yeah.
That's true.
So, yeah, she is, I think, like, in whale charts, just one of the highest currently, catches up to Raegen and, like, the ridiculous jumping scalers. Because, yeah, her...
That's if I do her whale count.
And let's talk about this. So you know my prediction about anniversary. You've heard it. Like I think they're dropping NV on us on anniversary.
No, Bharos, no. Don't give them ideas, Bharos.
I had almost
And you know
forgotten how
what?
stupid that
Listen,
thing was, and then
I
you
think it
reminded
was
me.
Rigoro that said in the chat the other day. He did the smartest thing. He was like, "Yeah, because what they could do is they could do NV with the new winner, the design contest units, and do the old design contest units as the old NVs on those banners." And I'm like, yeah, this is what they're gonna do. This is obviously what they're gonna do. And this,
Okay,
this.
how much money do you want to bet that they're not going to do any of that?
Tighten that
I mean, I'm
tinfoil
not betting
hat a
any
bit.
money. I'm just doing a prediction. Okay, it's like it makes sense. And now they're doing this big jump, so it won't hurt as bad. Because I think like they're gonna do the NV so that we get a smoother curve up until actually Cloud is released in January sometime, and up until then we're gonna get like weird GLEX NVs, 100%.
Okay, so that's definitely not happening. So that's definitely not happening. So let's just move on to the next unit.
Well, wait, well, Physalis, like, isn't even changed from JP, though.
Like, she's exactly the
But
same.
yeah, like,
She is just that strong.
We talk a lot about how mages are worse than physical, but Physalis is strong enough relative to our physical units that this is at least a step in the right direction, or at least it would be if they hadn't released Raegen the same week.
So I just want to say something. So all this fucking talk about Muspel winning got me to pull the 3K step on the banner. Okay.
Oh my god.
oh no.
I got a
Uh-huh.
rainbow.
Oh no.
Okay, I got a rainbow.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Let's see what it is. Okay, I'm like it's probably fucking Night Delita. Okay, but
Good.
let's see.
It's Onion Knight. It's Onion Knight Refia.
Oh fuck you! I have 9. Do not hex me.
Yeah, that's too decent.
Oh my god! It is Raegen. Suck it. It is Raegen.
Oh shit.
Okay. Oh, also, no, wait, no, nah, shit, it's a Moogle in this one, right? So the last rainbow isn't really a rainbow, isn't it?
Yes.
Fuck you, Gumi, for raising my hopes. Okay, but it's a Raegen. Okay, fine, Muspel. It's on, motherfucker. Oh, no, wait. I need to use my new catchphrase. Kaminami ho, motherfucker.
What?
Oh boy. He really took to that.
It was like the best thing I've heard in months. Thank you, Karten. Like, it made my day.
Screw you all. I'm gonna use a 30% ticker on the banner.
See, I knew it. It is happening.
You guys are the worst.
I mean, I already tried that and got nothing, because I grabbed a Physalis from, like, the 5-star EX from the coin shop.
Nope, it's blue. It's a damn Aiden.
Why did I do this? I was actually happy about Tifa. Jesus Christ, why did I do this? Now I'm never going to use Tifa.
Instant
Damn
regret.
it.
Okay, guys, but we still have like 6 units left on this banner.
Yeah, who? Okay, is someone else pulling? Wait, Karten is pulling.
Okay, both both my DV 30% tickets were not rainbow. This is a big disappointment.
Untamed Edel is another free unit that we got this week. She's a pretty solid chainer. Damage is a little bit higher than Kadaj by, I think, about like 10% or so, which is... This is another one of those units where if you need a good damage dealer, she's plenty. It means you don't have to pull for one. So get her, upgrade her, gear her out. She has some fun stuff in her kit, like she counters with 75% type mitigations for one turn. In practice, this can be hard to capitalize on, but in JP, there have been strats on some fights like Behemoth K where they've actually used her to survive crazy damage.
Because she does have a gut stack as well to like trigger that.
And the counter chance is pretty high too.
Yeah,
it's
60%.
decent enough that you can rely on it. Because like every hit,
you can rely on it if you're getting hit multiple times per turn.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's very solid. Stardust, Ray, Chain.
I'll be honest. I think not the fusion sprite, but the actual sprite in game. I think is probably the best one I've seen out of the Esper units.
Yeah, I was just gonna say exactly that thing. It's actually excellent, and she pets Fenrir, and it's like fucking amazing.
It's just Edel and her pet dog.
Yeah, but then she turns into like this yiffing, horrible vision, okay? So whoever did that, again, like, fuck you.
Well, she kind of looks like Altafera a little bit in the fusion sprite. The wolf, Chamber of Arms wolf boss.
Oh. Does she have a tail?
Not really.
What do you mean not really? I'm right, Dream. I'm right.
Oh, sorry, you're always right.
Thank you.
And now we see how Hazard is Muspel's alt.
What?
And now we see how you are Muspel's alt. You just said, like, I'm right 2 times in a row.
Yeah, now that we've done the free unit, we can do the ones that are worse than the free unit.
Wow.
Spoilers.
Spoiler alert, that's true for like 90% of these units though.
Alright, before you talk
Reberta...
about Reberta Shadow, can I ask you a question? What is her role? Isn't she supposed to be a jumper?
Well, Gumi thought otherwise. They were like, we could fix her jumps, or we could just make her
too hard,
or we could just make her into a chainer. And they said, let's not make this work too hard and just simply turn her into a chainer. So she is now a chainer.
I'll tell you what happened with this. Somebody at Gumi, when Reberta was first made, was like, I want to make this jumping unit. And then they tried, and they fucked it up, and then they had to spend like 3 months fixing it. And then this time, that person was like, let's make her a good jumper. And the guy was like, we went through this last time.
No.
But it's so weird because, like, I think that when Reberta released in GL, I was incredibly happy to just have gotten her. And I thought her design at that point was fantastic because she was a bit weaker than our unit of the month back then, which was still like Frievia / Orlando. But she could do chains and she could do jumps and she had these nice 3 different imperils and stuff like that. Her design was great. And she should have like kept that niche of being both, but she didn't.
She does have kind of a weird niche, which is those 3 element attacks are actually magic damage with magic type with physical damage.
Yeah, magic attack with physical damage.
So they use her attack stat, but they do magic damage, so you can actually use her, and I've seen videos of it, to defeat Bloody Moon. And
she's now better at that role. Her breast became stronger, so she hits Moon harder. Yay!
But to clarify, they're still targeting defense, so they're not useful for like the Dark Vision's magic stages or anything.
Yeah, it's only for the mitigation ones.
Which really means it's only useful for Moon.
But it's cool.
Pretty much.
It's cool. I like that it's still different.
But it does mean she uses magic killers.
Yeah, but I'm just sad about Reberta.
Isn't as good.
I mean, wouldn't she work for Chamber of Arm bosses? Like, she can just hit build for attack and hit both the magic and physical resistant phases if people are still clearing that.
Well, I could see her being useful if they design a trial that swapped between magic and physical damage. For example, the Goulagan whatever trial we've got right now, if you use one type, it does huge mitigation versus that type. You could swap off every turn and conceivably do pretty good damage, right?
The problem would still be killers because you would have to gear for both.
Yeah, but a lot of the espers now, you get that 75% killer plus thing that applies to both.
Yeah, the killer pluses,
which makes it pretty decent. It is still harder, but it's pretty decent.
It's doable. It's not terrible.
I'm just so sad because like Reberta has the finest sprite in the game. Let's be honest about that. She has the best sprite in the game.
What?
Maybe not the animations, but the sprite definitely.
What?
Oh, come
What?
on.
How can you say that?
She has this dragoon
It's
armor.
not bad.
Listen, if you say shoe in, like
Okay, hold
I'm
on.
disconnecting right
I'll
now.
tell you,
No.
she's not even the
Chow.
best looking.
Chow has the best sprite.
No,
See,
he's just a
for
dog.
once,
If
I
not-
agree.
if not
Muspel here.
Chow-
Chow has the best sprite.
No,
okay,
that's too
yes.
easy.
If not Chow, second place is probably Big Hard.
All right, now you're just trying to butter him up.
Wait. Now you're just pandering.
Oh shit. Okay, so you got me there. Actually, that is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Listen.
Okay, so Big Art is actually true.
Uh,
No, but come on. Okay.
I'll do
It's a
a
hyperbole.
hot take. Roberta's not even the best looking dragoon. It's Skaha.
What the fuck?
True.
The
Oh.
friend point unit
True.
is
Come
a better
on.
looking dragoon than Reberta. Absolutely.
Roberta
I don't actually
has
disagree
her
with this.
armor going
don't actually-
on.
what about Tide
She
Rider?
has,
Sky?
like,
no,
a
I think
little
yes.
dragon.
Even Gummy agrees with that. Actually, yeah, Gummy does agree with that. If not,
Yeah.
why would it get a bikini Skaha?
That's true. See, I rest my case.
Okay, you all suck.
I mean, you're welcome to like Roberta. She's a really cool unit. I mean, I won't diss her at all. I'm just saying. I don't know if she's the best sprite in the game. Like, I gotta disagree with that.
Hey, do I need to like level this dude's LB?
Yes.
What? Who? Raegen?
What?
Yeah, Raegen.
so out of
No.
nowhere.
Wait, yes. Spend your
It
LB
it
pots
helps
on
a
him.
bit.
Okay, I'm
It's a good
definitely not
investment.
spending the LB pots if Muspel is doing the recommendation.
Does the Imperial actually increase?
Bharos, he lasted like 10
Um,
minutes.
going back to Roberta just for a bit, just because she one thing that I do like about her was that when Gumi decided to release 6 different DPS, 7 different DPS units in one night, and I had to go through Xeno and Akstar that night. Roberta's rotation was a godsend because it was so dead simple. Thank you.
There's nothing quite so beautiful as a simple rotation in this game, honestly.
Wait. Also, Reberta didn't get her enhancements yet, right? It's just her latents, because her enhancements got kind of deleted when she got reworked.
Correct.
None
theory,
of the
yes.
rework
Yeah.
units have the enhancements yet, actually.
I know. I'm so excited for Malphasy. So excited.
Actually, yeah, Reberta is the first one to get their latents, isn't it? So we
No,
could
but
use
Malphasy
that.
is
Kryla.
not going to get enhancements. Hazards, have you been paying attention? On
Yes,
anniversary,
I think your dumb
they're going to
theory is
release
dumb.
NV, and then Malphasy is going to get her NV version. Should be happy about that.
Well, that's fine. I have 10 of her.
So the next unit is Akstar.
Hold on. To talk about Roberta's kit just a little bit more, her jumps are surprisingly okay despite the mods being
Surprisingly
terrible,
okay.
because she, unlike all the other, well, I mean, like compared to the
No,
other
I just love it
because
because,
like
like,
her mods are a lot lower.
You
than
really
them.
set the expectations. Like, you were really good at that.
What do you mean by surprisingly okay?
Because she has killers.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm even without considering the kills, because yeah, like I think it's Red Vengeance has the 200% active human killer, so that's going to do a lot because its mod got doubled by the latents. And then, but even Death Crimson without the killer, because she's the only dragoon with the 6 times cap and a bunch of innate true dual wield support, she actually like compares surprisingly well. Like without STMRs at least, her jumps, her Death Crimsons actually hit probably about as hard as Sid does,
But
which is really surprising considering the mod
with
difference.
STMRs?
But she won't scale as much with the STMRs because she's sort of closer to being capped out, and she also needs less external support, which is nice. So at least against like human bosses, she probably is actually worth using as a finisher still. Now we can move on.
Oh, I will say that 200% human killer buff is super nice if you can spread it.
So the next unit is Akstar. And
It's a bit hard to spread it. No, but talking about spreading it,
Yeah,
it
you
is
have
a
to wait
bit
till
hard
she
to spread it
lands.
because it's on a jump. So the only time that you can pick it up and spread it around is when she lands, which is when you're trying to burst.
You guys could play, the listeners could play a drinking game, which is drink anytime Muspel says the word so to start a sentence.
And also, speaking of
Drink anytime
Akstar,
someone gets interrupted.
Yeah, as-
which
we
just
have-
happened.
We have 8 units. I'm trying to get us that this podcast doesn't take 3 hours.
We're at the halfway point.
It's okay.
Believe
We're
me,
almost
they
there.
get way less
speaking of
interesting from here. Let's be
200%
honest.
Yeah,
human
like,
killer buffs and Akstar, Hyo has a 200% human killer, right? No, 150?
Wait, why is Hyo
150.
coming into this conversation?
Because we're talking about human killer buffs. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
No, he calls him Hayo.
I'm not that stupid.
I mean,
But Akstar got enhancements, and they're mediocre.
That's generous.
And Akstar sucks. And then the next unit.
Hey,
No,
okay,
I one
this is
question that
such a
everyone
shame.
needs to know the answer. Who does more damage now, Akstar or Akstar?
Esther.
Esther does.
Well, that's only because
Seriously?
Esther has. That's only because Esther is better in perils. If you gave Akstar better than 75% in
yeah.
perils, which should be really easy, he's gonna do 20 billion ish.
So are you saying that with proper external support and a good rotation, Akstar out damages Esther?
Yes.
Yeah, have you seen his damage with a Rolex wristwatch and a personal masseuse?
Oh, there we go. There it is. There it is.
Yeah. Just entrust him every
I
second.
think this is such a sad state, okay? Because Akstar really got ass fucked on his banner. Like, he really did. Like, everyone was looking forward to him, and then, like, Xeno came out.
Why the phrasing, though? Is that really the way you want to describe that?
Yes, that's the way I want to describe that.
I mean, I just want to point out that it's a perfect parallel because we've got Esther being before Akstar and Xeno and being better than Akstar, and then we've got Xeno and Akstar being in the same batch, and Xeno just massively beating Akstar and making him a joke.
And also beating
The
Esther.
only difference is now they all suck.
But they could have, like, redeemed him. They could have done something where, oh, now Akstar is the top of the bunch. He's maybe doing 30 billion. No. He like, such a shame. He has amazing animations. He has a CGLB. Why not make him good enough for people to use him? Like, Jesus.
I have a
He
feeling
is good
that
enough for people to use him, though, isn't
when
he?
JP hyped up Akstar, they didn't get something right because Akstar, even in his best rotation at the time, wasn't as good as we thought it would be. And then right now, Dream and I spent like hours. Well, I spent hours. I don't know about Dream.
Yeah.
Like trying to find
Oh yeah, I spent so much long time.
find the best rotation for this guy, but like his kit is such a clusterfuck that I don't think he initially was that great
Yeah.
to
No,
begin
the
with.
thing is you have to keep in
No.
mind that a lot of people in JP were doing counts with his STMR. He needs his STMR.
Well, even right now, he doesn't need it. Even his best in slot right now isn't even his STMR. It's has King Laswell's STMR because it adds the half modifiers to all the AT abilities.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Jesus.
Yeah, but it's like STMR Katana in general, but like TDH Katana is not great for gearing because you're stuck with the 1.3 variants, and also non-STMR options are pretty limited because you're stuck with Onimaru Plus with 140 attack. So it's just not great all round. And yeah, they just, for this one, they did just copy, but it's another JP copy-paste enhancement
really?
set.
Oh,
Mhm.
there's no
But
change?
the difference in JP was they were released alongside his latents at anniversary. Well, series boss skills, I guess.
Right.
But they don't really fix his problems either. But maybe he'll have another shot at like anniversary or
Not
whatever.
sure. We're
No,
still
he's not
missing
going to
the
get an
latents.
NV version.
Very not. He might get a new one. He won't get an
The
away.
Enhancement has really been blowing it recently. I just don't think the people that work on this game care enough about it to actually make some of these changes.
Yeah, you know what? You're actually not wrong. I do have the feeling that that's actually true. That they don't really care about the lore and the animations and the units themselves. They really just chase profit, which I fully understand, but it's also a bit sad.
By every margin, the Ashura, the Supreme Diva Akstar that we got like a month ago, is still the better version of the current Akstar that we have, and it's not that Gumi and Alim don't know how to make Akstar good, like, or rather good in quotation marks, because Supreme Diva Akstar has a great niche in that his innate human killers and great damage on his LB make him into a great choice for DV for a lot of people. Akstar could have been that in a different direction, but they didn't do it. So it's not like they don't know, it's just ignorance.
Yeah, I mean, no, it's that they don't want, because like Akstar didn't pull any numbers on here. Also, like, enhancements are weird, because why are they not releasing the enhanced unit banner when the enhancements come out? Like, or I'm guessing like numbers show that people just didn't pull for old units, which makes sense. I mean, you'd have to make like a unit meta to have Muspel pull on it, and like and then you're still fucking your profit over because a lot of people already have that unit, so they're not going to be pulling for it. So yeah, I mean, like, I do see how enhancements are a losing battle for Gumi, really.
But I think they could have the best of both worlds. They could make the enhancements decent, and they have
But they are doing
done
that.
with Beatrix and Aiko, and also with Esther and Sylvie. They ran a rerun banner of sorts when the enhancements came out, so people could get these units. So they could have interesting enhancements and give people the chance to purchase them, or roll for them again and be able to make money as well. I don't see why they don't do that.
Who knows, guys? Who knows?
Well, I'm guessing because numbers show.
Because the amount of money, it probably takes about the same amount of work to balance and tune a set of enhancements as it does to make a new unit. And they're going to make less money off the enhancements.
I mean, they're going to make no money off of enhancements in most cases if they don't do the banner. And if they do, they're still going to make just a little money.
I would bet that those banners where you can pull for newly enhanced units, I don't think those
Yeah,
do
not
very
me
well.
neither.
I'm sure some people pull on them, but
If the enhancements were good, I think they would. But especially if you make it a discount banner.
Units usually don't get enhancements until they're at least a year old. By that point, a lot of the veterans already have 1 or 2 copies of the unit just from off-banner stuff.
Exactly.
So
Tell
Gumi,
that to my Zero Malphasy.
No, listen. Gumi, take notes. Okay, what you need to do when you do unit enhancements is that you need to release a bundle for every unit that has the unit in the bundle. Just a single copy of the unit in the bundle. And you're going to make some money, okay?
But they did that.
But Shadow, were you taking notes? Like, are you the Gumi spy?
Also, but I think they could run it where you could get an STMR a little bit easier as well, because that's a year-old unit. The STMR is probably still pretty good. If it's a discount banner, you could get that and a decent unit at the same time. I don't know. I would pull for it because it'd be a discount.
I mean, I am still assuming that Gumi are very profit focused and that they are very data driven. So I'm just sure that the banners don't do well enough for them to care.
Anyway, moving on to the other to Extar's counterpart on the banner, Xeno. Who's covering this one?
Well, I can do Xeno because I actually think that Xeno's enhancements weren't as bad as people are making out to be. Like, he does 20 some odd billion damage, 22. And once he gets going, he actually gets going to a point where he does consistent damage output. Like, it's only his first 2 or 3 turns that are awkward. So
yeah, once he gets his limit burst up, he basically repeats a 4-turn of limit burst, true mirror, and then a couple of triple cast of whatever the clusterfuck of his main chaining skill is, with intermittent scorches to keep Imperial up. And yeah, that rotating that should do around 27 billion or so, but yeah, it's his slow startup time until he gets his first limit burst.
I do appreciate that they are true to his style of taking way too long to do anything.
oh wow. Too soon.
Not soon enough.
But the main thing about Xeno is that he still has the advantage of just being incredibly easy to gear.
Yeah.
Because he has 200% innate TDW, and he also got some more bulk with his.
I mean, the flip side is that he doesn't scale well with STMRs because he already caps almost everything with just normal gear.
But at the same time,
that's true, but he has so much room to load up on HP or killers or whatever. And if you have STMRs, there's a bunch of stuff where you can get more killers that way. Just because there's STMRs with killers.
Yeah, and
yes.
Well, I forgot what I was gonna say.
Did you lose steam? What happened?
I lost my train of thought.
Shadow.
Truly, we are lost for words at the majesty of this unit.
I hate him. He's still my least favorite unit of all time.
Oh yeah, I wanted to say that the thing about Xeno, you mentioned that he doesn't scale well. That's only on sheets. As Muspel mentioned, you get much more room for killers, in very different aspects. But I realized the Muspel sum listed the art, so that's why I was lost for words.
Lost words because they were taken right out of your mouth.
And I mean, if you look at his damage, that actually makes now it actually is also relevant because he still does good enough damage for all trials right now, and you can gear him super tanky or super killery or whatever you want. Killery. Yeah,
or both. Yeah, honestly.
Or both. Yeah, I mean, Xeno is also chunky as hell to begin with, so.
Yeah, he's a good unit. He's not the best chainer in the game, but for an ult unit who used to be top tier, his enhancements were better than I expected. So
serviceable, I guess. But again, like, personally, I feel like I would prefer to use Fenrir Edel than Xeno right now, especially as, like, you don't have to pay to enhance her.
shit.
I mean, especially the fact that when you use Fenrir Edel, you don't have to wait a few seconds every turn for his autocast.
Oh, yeah,
don't
that's
put him
true.
on your friends list.
Why didn't they remove that? Like they should have enhanced the way his fucking autocast. Just made it a passive.
I mean, like, he has a better permanent attack buff from his cooldown.
How else will like Nexus annoy people with Xeno and like all the other startup time TMRs?
He lost like half his friends list from doing that, by the way.
Yeah, imagine like a Xeno with like 3 other autocasts as well as the Berserker Dagger and like 2 other.
Why stop at 3?
Go full out.
No, but like you also want to fit the Berserker and the hit twice items as well, so that it's like extra annoying.
Nexus said that he put it up and he lost like 10 friends after first few hours. He's like, okay, that's not too bad. And then he went to sleep, and when he woke up, he'd lost like 40 or 50 more friends.
Those aren't true friends, alright.
I think one event I put up a wall with like, yeah, I think it had like Fitra Staff, the Avenger Dagger, like Aurora Scarf, and like I only lost like 2 people for like half a week.
Aurora Scarf. Why would anybody even farm that?
I
When
still don't have
lightning
that.
was meta.
I think it just accumulated.
I farmed it because I listened to people from JP when they said that Lightning was going to be good at 7-star. They were wrong.
Never ever listen to JP. I still don't have that TMR.
Actually, I did use her for a month. At
Yeah,
7-star.
I learned that lesson a long time ago, but this was before I learned that lesson. It was at about the time that Kurosame came out that I realized that JP had no idea what they were talking about, or at least the people that tell GL about JP have no idea what they're talking about.
See, I think Akstar is the biggest evidence of that, as we said before.
To be fair, Akstar, when he came out in JP, was actually
Exactly.
good. The problem was that JP didn't realize that Sabin, who came out like a week later, beat him by a huge
I mean,
margin.
that's the point.
And Saban is actually still really cool and useful to this day.
But I think that JP, like, it seems like they're just a lot more passion driven than we are. Like, we're very numbers driven. They like units, and then they hype those units, like Hyo as well. Same thing with Hyo and Akstar.
Hyo, again, he deserved the hype if you keep in mind that they were considering him with Arngrim's
I
STMR.
think JP is actually just like Muspel. They chase the meta, and they only love units that are meta.
With STMRs in mind. They don't even...
They're all whales.
That's true.
Speaking of STMRs, I just realized Raegan's STMR is really good. Jesus.
So, Bharos, are you going to pull for it? The 25k banner is just waiting for you.
No, God, no. What I'm thinking about is
Oh, yes.
maybe using my STMR tickets. Maybe. But, I don't know.
Want to know who else has a good STMR? Regina, and we should be talking about her right
Regina
now.
who?
Regina, you
You
mean?
mean Regina.
No.
You mean Regina?
No.
Regina.
There we go.
Okay, it has to be Regina.
There we
Okay,
go.
I'm not even joking. It has to be Regina.
No!
No, it really does not.
Regina.
If you talk to someone in the United States that has that name and you call her Regina, you will be slapped to all hell.
But that's so wrong. You remember when we talked about this last time? I pulled up that website that does the
Yeah,
name
welcome to, like,
pronunciations,
episode 1
and
or
the
2.
name
It's
pronunciation
pronunciation.
website said Regina.
Okay, they are wrong. I'll just tell you. I mean, you can test this.
I mean,
Actually,
can you
no,
okay,
don't,
can you
because
say
or else
this
they're
for
probably
all of
already
the-
gonna avoid you.
But
when
can
they
you
see
say
walking
this for
across the
all
street
of the
for it.
US and for the UK as well? Like, can you say that nobody's ever going to pronounce Regina as Regina?
Okay.
Nobody
But
named
by the way,
Regina
there-
goes by Regina. Nobody.
There is a literal city called Regina in Canada.
Okay, but no person is named Regina. Nobody.
But that's like okay, no, that has to be okay.
Nobody.
I'm googling again. Okay, I'm googling again. How to pronounce Regina?
Can we
Okay,
get to the unit?
talking back to the unit. Regina's enhancements basically increase the nuke of Regina Cannon. She gets a lot stronger Regina Cannon. She gets 200% killers now, which is great if you have Zon to spread them around for DV. And she gets more bulk, which doesn't help much when she's already so fragile. But any little bit of bulk is good, right?
I mean, her bulk helps if you want to actually use her in trials, which like 90% of the people won't.
her maximum burst didn't actually go up by all that much, because she used to burst for, I think, 24 billion or something. Now she bursts for 31. The main difference is that now she does that burst roughly something around there every turn. Because it used to be that she had her Regina cannon, which was not that strong, and then her LB, which was very strong. But now both turns are strong.
Okay, I just want to say.
I mean, her off-turn cannon is still bad.
Yeah, but
her enhancements were obviously for DV, like bigger killer buffs, huge burst now, turn 1 with 120x. She's amazing. Like if she was on a banner, I would recommend people to pull for her if they didn't have like Cloud.
Or you could just UOC for her, since like you can get her unit and the prison with just 18 tickets.
I mean, I finally got my second one earlier this month, so I'm keen to try her out. But one thing, just thinking about using her for DV with Zon, that's like a bit annoying, is that if you want her to like be part of your actual damage, then you can't use her big stat buff to like spread around, because she sort of needs that for her, at least her non-LB burst.
What do you mean?
So you have to like stick with
or non-cooldown bursts.
Yeah, the
What do you mean?
non-cooldown rather.
Of course you can.
I don't know, sentence.
But I guess most damage dealers don't need that stat buff, because like most of them actually buff their own attack or magic already, so they don't need that stat buff unless you're
because she pentacasts, you might be able to time it such that Zon copies it after she casts the buff, but before everybody else
So she
attacks.
would have to buff, copy.
But that would be tricky.
She would have to buff. Zon would have to copy. Zon would have to spread, and then the other chains would have to start.
Yeah, but that's
before
still
she
doable.
landed.
I do
Yeah.
that thing with Noctis on many DV bosses too. Like Noctis also has the same thing. You want to do his True King Awakened, and then you want to do a killer buff, and you want to copy that to everyone, and that still works.
So there's enough time for to do that and have everyone else attacking with the buffs and have him still
I have-
Probably,
there's-
yeah. You could check it in quick hit.
Interesting.
She does take quite a while. Like all the pentacast chainers do take a while. It's just it does sound a bit sketch.
Yeah, I mean, like,
I think it's the
Yeah.
kind of thing where you would either want to practice it a lot or just use a macro.
and you have to consider that if you're spark chaining your support chainers, it doesn't matter that Noctis or Regina, is gonna land on like the 4th hit or the 7th hit, because like it's still gonna have a decent chain modifier because they're elemental spark chains. And it's not like it's already landing in like the 10s, so it's fine. Also, I just pasted a link, so you listeners, you don't see this, but I just pasted a link in our Discord chat to the Cambridge Dictionary pronunciation site. Hazard, have you clicked the link?
I have.
So, did you click both US and UK pronunciation of the name Regina?
Yes. Also, it's pronunciation, not pronunciation.
What the fuck? I say the same thing you're saying.
No, you say pronunciation. I say pronunciation. That's the correct form.
Okay. Sure. Also, like,
Yeah, I'm lost.
This is the content that people listen to the podcast.
I've actually heard from many people that our pronunciation battles are their favorite part of the podcast.
but if you clicked like the little so Hazard,
Go on then. So before we go on one side we have Hazard with his Americanized pronunciations. On the other side we have Bharos, who butchers basically everything. Who will win?
Okay.
No, I understand Barros's point here. I understand. It does say that. It does
like the dictionary
that
says
way.
it's Regina
I'm telling
for
you,
both US and UK.
If you have ever met someone with that name, it is not Regina. It's not.
I would like to point out that this link you provided is not a link to the pronunciation of the name
Not the
Regina.
name.
It is a link to the pronunciation of the legal term Regina as it relates to
A Latin
Yeah.
word
What
meaning
the
queen.
fuck?
yeah. You see where it says what is the definition of Regina? Click on that.
No,
No.
because all I needed to hear was that it was Regina, and that's enough for me.
He's in denial, guys. He's in denial.
Ah, yes, the old first source that you find is the one.
Yeah,
you
I mean,
stick
like
with.
there are tons of Quora questions on this. Like,
that sort of logic has definitely not caused any problems before.
but there's also tons of Quora questions on the same topic, and like many people say that it's Regina.
Anyway,
Okay,
moving
move
on
on
to the final
to the
enhanced
next
unit. who actually
And I'm
surprise,
sure
surprise,
Bharos will have nothing to say about this unit.
who is surprise, not a damage dealer. She's a granny buffer.
Yuraisha. Okay, this is a unit.
Oh
Arguably,
damn it. Yuraisha!
Okay, so Bharos loves
Yuraisha.
grannies.
Arguably,
Yuraisha!
It's Yuraisha.
It's
Yuraisha.
Yuraisha.
Yuraisha is a continent. We already, or like a
I'm on Team
supercontinent. We already talked
Yuraisha
about
here.
this.
No,
a
it's
huge
Yuraisha.
landmass,
You're
okay?
also wrong.
It's like tectonic
Okay,
plates.
the granny before enhancements, the granny
Can we
was
just call it 21 and a half?
The granny was a buffer, a defensive buffer. But enhancements actually made her much better for surprise DV, because she gets offensive attack spirit, attack magic buffs. She gets 70% breaks that with 120% win of imperils, and she gets to double cast a 75% killer buffs, which also now buff the unit's attack and magic by 200%.
Note, however, that her killer buffs are single target, not AoE.
Yes, but you can dual cast them to the 2 damage dealers on the team.
But that still defeats the purpose of DV if you want to do a turn 1 thing. Like you would need to go through turns with Yuraisha.
Yeah, but most of the time you wouldn't. Unless you're super whaled out, most of the time you won't be able to max out cap damage once you hit stage 2 and 3.
Yeah, and if you want the Beast Killer, like Yuraisha is gonna give Beast Killer and 200% buffs to the unit you target that Zon can spread. So it's still very strong.
That's Zon. As
The
if I had
annoying-
Zon.
But the annoying thing is that most of the DV relevant stuff is locked to 7 star, and
But-
my granny is 6 star.
But
Damage.
I want to talk about a different aspect of her kit. So I actually think Yuraisha's enhancements are fantastic, because she's also getting a huge boost to your team's survivability, because she can now spam really big barriers with only a single turn downtime in like 6 turns or something like that. She spams 3k or 4k barriers alongside with permanent 200% buffs on your team.
180.
No, her LB is 200.
Yeah.
And
The LB buffs can be dispelled too. Yeah, those are great.
yeah, they are fantastic. And finally, she also got her typed mitigations, which are super important nowadays as uncoverable damage is typed, buffed to 35%. Now, 35% is the highest what we have right now of someone that does both. Like, yeah, so Luna Freya has 40% or 50% if you counter cooldown. Oh, shit, I forgot to say something. Yuraisha is not better than Luna Freya. I just want to say that, because I got so much shit for suggesting otherwise.
So Yuraisha is essentially an upgraded version of Seaside Nicole. They both have 35% type mitigation, but Yuraisha doesn't have an incredibly clunky rotation, and she has some stuff that Nicole doesn't.
At least Yuraisha is able to. The granny is able to dual cast most of a kit, unlike Seaside Nicole, who is basically stuck single casting the good stuff.
Checkmate, Cotton. You pronounce it Yuraisha.
Oh, shut up, Hazard.
I think 21 and a half can dual cast everything. She's able to dual cast everything after enhancements, like literally all of her moves. So that's good, because before she only could dual cast like certain abilities, and all the very useful ones weren't dual castable. The other thing that I do like about her kit is that her buffs are undispellable. I think that's probably the best aspect of her, in that her stat buffs, like, you can't dispel it away. But
That's a nice thing, but I feel like boss dispels are not as common as we might think. Like, sure, sometimes we get a fight like Demon Wall, but for the most part, bosses just don't seem to dispel us very often.
But there's another benefit to that. Like, what when you have to dispel your own team due to like imperils or shit, you still keep the buffs. That's pretty nice.
Oh, true. That is one thing.
I can't remember the last time I had to dispel my own.
Yeah, it was a while ago. Actually, you're right. It was like Emperor.
Emperor.
Alexander.
Was it Emperor?
Was it Emperor?
Yeah, I think it was.
Emperor, because of the damage over time.
Oh, I didn't do that for Emperor.
No, something recent would put imbues on your team. I can't remember what it was. Something recent.
Bomb family.
Bomb family? That was only if you were doing the fight wrong.
No,
You mean
Yeah, but many
non-using?
fights that like want you to use mages do the imbues. It could have been something else.
I just know I've used Luna Freya's AoE team dispel before.
But Hazard, have you tried getting good?
True, that is one way to get good.
Yeah, so who,
Yeah, use
and
Luna
Luna
Freya.
Freya is better than Yuraisha.
Checkmate.
Yes.
Which is fine, but Yuraisha is very good. She's, I think, puts her in line with a lot of the other buffers that we have right now, which that are pretty comparable, but they have different strengths and weaknesses. I like her a lot.
Like I say, DV.
I'm surprised they gave Yuraisha like better enhancements than JP, but they didn't touch Akstar at all. Like that just boggles my mind.
Yuraisha is fine by buffer standards, but as is often the case for buffers, once you start to compare her to tanks, it gets really depressing because the tanks just have insane buffer kits and their tanks, whereas the buffers have slightly better buffs, but it's not enough.
Yeah, Alphonse Elric, hello.
No, but like I say, her buffs mainly make her good for DV. That's basically it. All the improvements she got just made her a much better buffer for DV.
Even then, like the only thing she does better than Sylvie, the other one that's really good for buffing for DV, is the killers. And otherwise, I think Sylvie is better in almost all.
120% imperils for wind and earth help too sometimes.
Isn't that locked behind her cooldown, or can she spam it?
Yeah. Cooldown.
No, she has to do it.
It is locked behind a cooldown, but killing on turn 2 isn't necessarily a bad thing for DV.
Yeah, but like she unlocks it for multiple turns.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same.
Especially since then you can actually use the Hero Raegan combo, which is actually probably the best combo to get a high chain count and burst on any given turn.
Wow. Muspel and Bharos, with that attitude, neither of you guys are going to win. It's turn 1 or bust.
Yeah, true. I mean, I do have like Daddy Raegen now and Cloud, so it should work.
Sorry, Hazard. I try. I use all my 30%, 10% tickets. There weren't any rainbows. I tried.
So, speaking of DV, since we're on that topic, what are you guys using to cap your chain counts? Because that's still the dumbest feature of DV.
Dual cast AR.
2 AR
Two
units.
AR chains.
Yeah, I was doing the same. Like, I was just using 2 support chainers, either do dual or triple AR.
No, wait. For physical stages, I run with... No, for physical stages, I do triple SR plus support chaining from the Leviathan and Black Dragon. For magic stages is double cast AR with the 2 hybrids.
Yeah, similar here, except I just use 4 SR chainers for...
Huh.
If I remember correctly, there was one stage. There was one stage in DV where I used like multiple SR chainers. I think I had AI Katie who was like dodge covering, and then she used triple cast AR on turn 2, and then a couple other SR chainers in there, and that got me to the chain cap. But
Side note, Untamed Wolf Edel is actually a really nice partner for Zidane.
And Edward,
Oh, yeah?
actually.
Why is that?
Yeah, joins the Zidane Ed family.
Oh, she has high turn 1 mods, or?
No, triple cast
No,
SR.
for like turn 2.
Triple cast wind.
Oh, just true.
Yeah. Same with
Alright.
Edward, actually. I might use her instead of Bradley because Bradley requires stacking.
Yeah, there's some nice synergy there, I think. She could be used for DV, I think.
Time to door pot Adele.
Anyways, DV is not
Yeah,
on our
go.
subject list this week, but
No.
we do have
But-
Item World.
I just want to say one more thing about Yuraisha, which people keep forgetting, and just don't forget huge barriers. Cotton keeps saying she's only good for DV. I don't think that's true. I think she's going to be super strong when you need that bulk in trials too, when you're trying to fight the trials that keep wiping your team. So try her out. Okay, Cotton, stop pulling. Cotton is still pulling. She's trying to go for Raegen. Listen, Cotton, you need to stop pulling. You cannot do
That's
it.
my contribution to the Yuraisha discussion.
I mean, I think that's most of our response. That's
Oh, I have stopped.
keep pulling, Cotton. I can't be the only person standing in between Bharos and getting to pick a topic.
Just wait for 11 rainbows on Monday.
I'm still not sure I'm even gonna be using Raegen. Who the fuck is gonna slot a triple cast Mirror of Equity chain into like
Okay,
as a
never
finisher?
mind, I'll be fine.
All right, so moving on to our final topic, which is Item World. Last week we spoke really briefly about a message that Gumi had sent out that there was something wrong with the rare rate. We found out what it was, which is they had actually halved the rare rate
Well,
instead of doubling it.
There was two things that was going on. Like the initial one was that certain rare types like weren't existing. I'm guessing they accidentally overwrote them because there were so many unique rares. So they added them back in, but then yeah, in general, rare rates were half of what they should be, which I think are the rates of the old item world without the unique rares.
Right.
So that might have just been like a copy-paste problem.
Right, because they were supposed to be double the normal item world rates, but they're actually just the normal item world rates.
Yeah.
And some rares were missing entirely. So they refunded all the lapis for all the dumb people that actually refreshed with lapis in item world. They gave us 150 enhancement orbs as well to use, and then they quadrupled the rates. So it's 4 times the amount of the chance.
I still haven't gotten a fucking rare, so that's a lie.
Yes.
I got
even
2
with,
already.
Even with,
I just got
I
one
know,
on
I know.
refreshing now.
Everyone else. I've had a great day. It took me 40 full runs, 40 to get my first rare.
Was it after or before? Was it after the fix or before?
After the fix.
Oh, Jesus has it.
You should get one every 3 or 4 runs.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's like a 30% total chance to get one from a run, I think.
Yeah, the normal item world rates are 1 in every 12. So quadruple is about 1 every 3 or maybe 1 every 4. So I should have had 10. No, I can't even do math. Like 12 or 13? 14? 12 or 14.
It's probably closer to 10 because of how cumulative percentage stuff works.
We've established that your luck is cursed. Why do you still even play?
I don't know what I did to like piss off the RNG gods, but holy crap, my luck has been absolutely abysmal across both this and War of the Visions for the last like 6 months.
Really? I mean, I wouldn't say that. Like, you have an excellent lineup in War of the Visions.
But I paid dearly. I paid dearly for all of it.
Sure.
Oh?
Like I'd spent 40k on Cloud, did not get Cloud. Like, didn't pull a Cloud. I spent 30 something on Gilgamesh and an STMR Moogle and the UOC.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, but I mean, like, it has to go somewhere. Like, my theory in life is that if you get lucky somewhere, you're gonna get fucked somewhere else.
True. I can attest to if I get lucky on the Pokemon Go game, my luck sucks here.
Imagine still playing Pokemon Go, though. Imagine that.
I have not had good luck anywhere.
The
I'm waiting for my good luck to
PvP
start somewhere else in my life because I haven't seen it.
The PvP scene sucked me in, Bharos, okay? I got sucked into the
scene.
Sylph League PvP scene.
Yeah, I love when people call Pokemon a PvP scene, because, like, I've been looking at these tournaments on Twitch from time to time. It's like just 2 pathetic people playing Pokemon against one another.
It's a social
so it's like every other
Bharos.
game.
Because, like, oh my god, his
Mewtwo
is now going to use Snooze, or whatever the fuck the moves are called.
Okay, but Bharos, because us playing this phone game for hours a day is any better.
Oh no, it isn't. I am fully self-aware.
Oh, this is far
I am fully
worse.
self-aware. This is the worst thing ever. But, like, we shouldn't pretend anything else. Also, I STMR Moogled my Raegen. I'm sorry, I'm weak.
Oh my god.
I mean, okay, I had 160 tickets. I was thinking, like, I mean, okay, the sword. Okay, here's the reason why I did it. This sword.
And
You don't
here
have to
comes
explain, we all know
Bharos'
why.
justification.
We already know how weak you
We
are.
all know why, Bharos.
This sword is going to be best in slot for my behemoth clear with Zidane. Okay, best in slot.
Have fun with that.
Yikes.
I think Zidane can do it.
Yeah, and maybe like in
He
40
can gear
turns.
for 100% evasion super easy. People were doing it with Cypher, who also, like, can gear for evasion
More
easily,
easily
and they
with
have
better
a similar
damage.
DPT.
I don't know about that.
Yeah. Have fun,
Cypher
Bharos.
is quite a bit stronger.
There's that dream. There's that
Press
sound
X
that
to
Dream
doubt.
makes when he's like, "You're wrong."
Pretty much.
Yes, it's the embodiment of press X to doubt.
I am gonna try it, okay? I'm gonna try it. And you know what? It's not the worst thing in the world if I don't make the turn count. I'll just be happy for Zidane crushing Behemoth, okay?
I mean, I'll cheer you on, sure.
Is it crushing if it takes that long? I mean, yeah, sure, he'll probably be able to win.
But it's not gonna take that long. You're exaggerating. It's not like Cypher's damage is, like, just slightly above Zidane. Like, if you consider you have to gear for 100% evasion. So, like, they're fairly close.
Yeah, but how many turns are you thinking? Because
It's that slow grind,
the,
Dream.
the number I'm remembering just off the top of my head is like around 30 for units around like Cypher who gear for evasion well.
Yeah, but people did Cypher in turn limit.
I mean, Zidane gears really well for evasion.
It's the Dane's damage isn't that impressive compared to Cypher, I think, is what he's trying to get at.
Well, I don't know who Cypher is, but
I mean, you have to consider Cypher is also gearing for evasion.
Probably someone from an irrelevant game. Yeah, but Cypher has like 60% innate evasion with just
but that's 20% more. It's like
at least
it's not that big of a deal considering the gear you have to put on them anyway to get.
Right. I'm just saying with Zon and Kaido STMR, Zidane caps evasion.
Anyway,
it's also
Item
basically
World
best
was bugged this week, and a bunch of people had to get together and prove it through a sheet. And I kind of wonder if we didn't do that, would we have gotten this at all? The one side of me says yes because there was enough people bitching about it on Reddit. But before
here comes another rare. Nice.
Yeah, before Fortuna decided to put that together, Reddit post together, I do wonder if we would have gotten this compensation.
So
probably not. Actually,
as we all know,
I'm not so
complaining
sure.
works. Mass complaining works well.
Yeah, I mean, the first compensation we got was a disaster, right?
Yeah.
But I'm not sure.
I mean, we got 20 orbs. I was like, Jesus Christ, do you know how much? Like, at least orbs? I spent a ton of orbs on this IV, and then like 20 orbs?
Item World. I dubbed you. So Bharos is now blind.
But I can't say IW. That takes forever. You need to get your shit together. You can't call a letter like.
Just call it ew.
I mean, okay. So what's the abbreviation? Okay, like what do we call it?
Item World.
Item World.
No, it needs to have like a super short one. IW, but that's too long.
Item World. Is Item World literally too long to say?
Yeah, Item World is actually shorter than Item or than IW.
Yeah, but IV is short. It sounds like intravenous, and yeah.
No.
And has nothing to do with Item World. You're right.
No, but neither does PP.
Just call it
with like
Castle.
the fucking enhancement points, right?
PP's a meme. Don't even try making it do anything more.
PP is what PP is, okay?
Just call it like Castle.
Oh wait, oh my god. I still haven't held on my promise where I was going to talk about like the light aim.
Nope.
No. We're done.
Bharos, my band finger is tingling. Don't make me mute you from the server.
Lemon, cut that out.
You have a wife and child. Have some dignity in your life.
I already took away Bharos' admin privileges in the other podcast server just as a precaution.
Okay, let's see what happens in the after talk.
Can this please already be in the after talk?
Yeah, thanks everyone for listening to our podcast this week.
We apologize for Bharos.
Without jokes.
We were so close.
We almost did it.
We apologize about Bharos, damn it.
I apologize for nothing.
We apologize on Bharos' behalf. We will mute him next week, okay?
See you guys next week.